Okay, my beautiful friends, we really do have to talk, and I'm not making a joke. I know I always say that, and we do have to talk. We have to try to make sense of what's going on here. I think most of us understand what's going on here, at least at this point. Those of us that have an intellect, it's really not that hard to put together what is happening here. So yeah, today is Sunday, March 22nd, 2020. I'm going to talk more about today's date a little further down the line here. I think a lot of people are fixated on this date for several reasons. All right, let's talk about what is going on here and the power grab. And I want you to research this for yourself. Around the world right now, troops are being deployed. Nations around the world. Again, this is all to protect us from the coronavirus. Really? Even here in the United States, we understand the National Guard is being deployed. The militarized police are being deployed. They're talking about usurping the Constitution here in the United States, which is part of the bigger plan. Let me explain this to you right here. This world is run by vampires. This world is run by vampires, the one percenters, an invisible, they're invisible, just like this coronavirus, an invisible force, an invisible hand is controlling the world through the mechanism of central banks, which are right now involved in a complete takeover of the world. And it's starting right here in the new America. You understand? There's a lot of nonsense that goes on. I'll talk about some of that here too. Oh, it's the secret societies. Which ones? The ones that are hidden in plain sight? Do you really believe that? You have no idea. Again, it's invisible. They're freaking vampires, and they are sucking. They are sucking your freedoms away. They're absolute total control is their one goal. Yes, they are the one percenters, and it's not enough. They want to control the entire globe. They want to control the entire monetary system. This is where, again, we're going to a completely, absolutely, totally cashless society. So they can prevent things like bank runs. So they can have, again, a stranglehold on every single one of us. We are one world now under surveillance. We're being completely surveilled, constantly listened to, and exterminated on an epic scale. I mean, this is just the beginning with this coronavirus here. I think honestly that we all understand what's going on here. How many of us realized, we didn't know when it would happen, that some kind of, I'm going to spell this out because they don't like these words being used, a BIOWEAPON would be used to bring forth the new America and a second Great Depression. People, we are in a market crash right now. You're not allowed to know that. 3 years of gains in this market have been erased in 3 weeks. That's a crash, down 30% across the board. And this market is nowhere near done falling. Again, let's put that into perspective as well. And I've covered this recently. We had a big, fat, ugly stock market bubble, a 100% correct call by the President of the United States, who took a big, fat, ugly bubble, deliberately hyperinflated it, getting as many people as he could invested in this market. Now, every dollar that went into the hyper bubble is gone, and people are getting hurt. People are getting destroyed. I hear from them every day in my email box. It's terrible. I wish I could share some of this stuff with you, but I can't. I think a lot of it is private. People confide in me. And secondly, we're now dealing with whatever remnants is left of the Obama bubble. The big fat ugly bubble is still here. So we have thousands of points more to fall. And it will. Again, this engineered thing that we are stuck in, the fact that we are being confined to our homes. Hey, while I'm on the subject here, I don't know one single person personally, and I'm not saying that they're not there, of course, but I personally do not know one person that has the coronavirus. My channel's pretty big. Not one person has ever written to me saying, Greg, I have the coronavirus. So we're relying on the media, what they're telling us, the people they're putting in front of the cameras to say, I had coronavirus, I'm doing okay now, or my family member had coronavirus, they're dead now. How many of you personally know someone affected by this virus here? Again, it's a real thing. I really think that's true. But again, this is a mechanism here to bring a second Great Depression, full control by the one percenters, the unseen society here. It's not even a secret society. It's some other thing. You have to understand that. And again, look, they use the mechanism of, oh, it's their fault. Oh, it's this, it's them. No, again, it's to deflect. And they control everything. They are vampires. They are vampires. And you know what, while we're on that subject, how about this number 322? I know a lot of you are kind of obsessed with skull and bones, thinking that the skull and bones run the world. And what is this 322? What does it mean? What is it a reference for? I'm going to tell you right now. It's no secret. 322 is a reference to Genesis 3:22 in the Bible. Okay, so I let the secret out. I'm not going to tell you what it says because I want you to go look it up for yourself. I want you to research everything I always tell you. Okay? Again, so many things are playing together here right now. The creation of the new America, the nationalization of corporations, this new philosophy, which is going to sweep the globe. The hub is the new America. It's going to sweep the world. And I've explained to you already how this is playing out with the Fed pumping trillions of dollars to central banks around the world to dollarize the world further. And then they're going to flip the switch. We're going to get a one world currency, a one world government, starting with the new America. The one percenters, the vampires, are the ones who have engineered this entire thing, released the BIOWEAPON exactly when they did. The cratering of crude oil to bring down the U.S. market so the Fed could step in here and start to pump unlimited funds to the new American government to nationalize corporations, to nationalize industries. This entire shutdown is causing disruptions by design for the economy, not just of the United States, of the world. It's to bring the economy of the world into full collapse. 100% meltdown here to usher in a second Great Depression, to foster a mass loss of human life. I've warned about this exact scenario for years. I never said, this is the truth, that it would be a BIOWEAPON used to, in concert with forcing the markets down with the disruption of crude oil. You all know that. How many times have I explained to you the dependence of high price of crude oil with regard to the stock market? How many times? And I got laughed at and ridiculed. Really? Who's laughing now? Okay? People need to pay attention. When someone like myself, who is immersed in this market and understands it, I think, to a degree that most people have no idea. Why do you think that 3 of the largest banks in the world have tried to hire me, have made me offers? I've turned it all down. Why? Because I work for you. The only way they can stop me is if they deliberately take down my channel. I have been out here forewarning of everything we are seeing for years. And those of you who have listened, those of you who have said, hold on a minute, maybe there's something really going on here with this guy, you're all set up. You're in the right spots here. Regardless of what they're doing to the price of gold and silver, we've seen this before, cryptocurrencies, which are catching a bit. I know they're down a little bit right now. I just looked at it. But we've seen this in every meltdown. You always get a sell-off with safe haven assets, and then they take off. This is, again, they will achieve fair value. Gold and silver will achieve a fair value. And I'm going to tell you this too. I'm going to give you another target. I told all of you from a long time ago that the hard bottom in this market is Dow 6,000. The Dow Jones Industrial Average could drop below 6,000. There's no doubt about it. That's where the Fed stepped in with quantitative easing 1. It could have caused a bottom, but that doesn't mean we're not going to overshoot it. That's the truth. I believe, take a deep breath for this one. I believe that gold will eventually and probably relatively soon be on par with the Dow Jones Industrial Average and more than likely go above it. So let's just say if we have a target, my target of 6,000 on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that means gold could go to 8,000. 6,000 I think is a guarantee. So what does that mean for silver? Exponentially higher here, people. There's just no doubt about it. Now again, so we understand the bigger plan here. The bigger plan should be extremely obvious to you. All right, this is an engineered collapse using a BIOWEAPON, the cratering of crude oil, to foster a global stock market meltdown and a second Great Depression. They've already done this here in the United States. It's over. Okay, the old world America is dead and buried. We have the new America now. The new America right here, right now, and we're going to deal with it. And they're already trying to pervert it. That honestly, look this up for yourself of what the Department of Justice is looking to do now. Usurp the Constitution. There's going to be a new Constitution with the new America. I hope you understand that, okay? I told all of you from years ago that when this happened, your lives were going to change in a way that you have no idea. Well, it's about to change, and it's changing very rapidly, okay? You can expect a global police state. That's what's going to happen here. A global police state to occur. You can also expect pandemonium in the streets as this again, what are they doing? Systematically shutting down cities, systematically shutting down states, systematically shutting down countries, confining people to their homes. What does this sound like to you? What does this sound like to you? And you need to do this. This must be done to protect you. Don't you see what they're doing here? I hope you can open your eyes. Okay. I did a video just 2 videos ago where I really went off on these so-called Q Patriots. I'm calling on you, the Q Patriots, now for all of us to band together here. We need each other. The Q Patriots, understand that you have been misled and lied to on an epic scale to keep you in the background. I know there's a lot of you out here. Okay, open your eyes. Look at, does this seem like the America you were going to defend? This new America right now, and they're looking to usurp the Constitution here? This is not a plan here to arrest anyone. You remember that big thing that Q was putting out? Arrests are coming. Just be ready for it. How many arrests have occurred? How about 0? Okay, stop it. We got to come together. How many years have I been explaining this to you, that we need each other, that we're dependent on each other, that we have to love each other, care about each other, and be charitable? The backbone of a real, free, peaceful people. Okay, what they're doing now, they've already taken away your voice and your vote. It does not matter anymore. They're going to strike right now at your beliefs. This is what they do, at your convictions. The third move here for absolute complete tyranny, which is unfolding here, is they're going to strike at your intellect. They're not going to allow you to think. And those of you that do think, those of you that follow blogs like mine, you're in a lot of trouble out there. It will not be tolerated. You must conform in the new America. And this is not just the new America here. I'm calling this the new America. But the new America, and I've told you this for days upon days now, is going to sweep the world. It's the new America is a one world government. The new America is a new, completely digital currency where they have absolute control over, again, a new economic model is being introduced extremely rapidly. A new monetary system is being introduced extremely rapidly. And again, none of it is going to benefit you. Do you think the Department of Justice would be looking to usurp the Constitution? This is the first step. They want to see how many people are going to yell and scream about it. You know how many are going to do it? A fraction of the population. This is why I am calling on the Q Patriots here. We need you. We must all come together right here and right now. Fight the bigger force. The bigger force is the 1%ers, the vampires. They are vampires who are seeking to do one thing: total, absolute world control. Why do you think they don't want you congregating in groups anymore? When there are bands of people coming together, there's power. When people are forced into their homes and they can't get together and talk, not just over a phone, because all this is monitored, even this video, obviously, it's public. They don't want that. If you look at every single oppressive regime that has ever existed, what do they try to do? They don't want the public congregating in any areas. They don't want like-minded groups of people together, okay? They don't even want these so-called secret societies banding together. You understand that? No, you can't be together, because then maybe you would try to undermine what they're actually doing here. Okay, this is much, much bigger. Where they're telling you to look, when they say look here, you must look in the completely opposite direction. You understand that? I know I'm going off the deep end here, and there's something else really important I want to tell you, but let's go back to these markets real quick, because this is markets that look ahead. We have a market in free fall. We're not done. That does not mean the market is going to bounce a little bit here. Very volatile, but there's nothing from preventing the stock market from dropping. This is engineered, what they're doing now. They're killing the economy by design, by closing everything. And then what are they going to do? Here's the solution, people. We're going to start bailing everything out. Here's the cash. Take this cash. We already know multinational corporations, industries are being nationalized. More than likely, they're going to offer loans to other businesses, creating even more slaves by design, okay? If you have a small business, medium-sized business, you're deliberately being shut down here. So you must ask for a loan. Where does that cash come from? It comes from the new America, from the new American government, which is sweeping the world. This is why, again, do your own research on this. The military is being deployed in most nations around the world, also going to be done in stages so they don't panic people. Just like the shutdown of cities and states and nations. Gradual, the boiling frog. This is what they do. You understand? So understand, when you're being told by whoever out here on YouTube, this is this group, this is that group, there's no way to point the finger at it, because these are invisible vampires. They exist just like this coronavirus does, completely in the shadows. Right? There's no emblems on their buildings where you can say, oh, it's them. No. Okay, it is the 1%ers. It is the vampires that are looking to control the world, and they have us all by the throat right now. Remember, speaking about throats, they take away your voice. They take away your vote. They strike at your beliefs. They strike at your convictions. And then the final death blow, people, is where they strike at your intellect and you're not allowed to even think. Everything becomes dictated to you. And if you do not comply, they will kill you. Okay. With that said, I did an interview yesterday that you must watch. Okay. I'm going to place a link to this interview in the description of this video here. The End Game. If you do nothing else today, watch this interview. I love all of you. I've said this for years, and I mean this from my heart. And I'm going to tell you again here, if we don't come together, if we don't understand that we are not each other's enemies and they are dividing us by design, you're being locked up in your home by design here. You're not being allowed to be a social creature. Humans are social creatures, all by design. We're being locked up so they can carry out their final solution here. And then comes the tidal wave of tyranny. Okay, I'm going to leave you off with that. Watch the interview. There's a link in the description of this video. Do not miss this. Please share this video. Please share that interview. It's just so important. I love you, and I'll see you in the morning.